get hit by every possible hitbox.
So, what stage do you want to play?
Alright. Like I said, this is why I'm not such a fan of this level, because it is so long. And if you aren't precise with your jumps, it makes you pay for it.
Press this switch to raise the water level.
Ha! An extremely long and tedious level in which you have to change the water levels, and the controls are very awkward. What does that remind me of? Where have I seen that before?
Press this switch to raise the water level.
Nah, it's not ringing any bells. Camera? Camera! Thank you. I should also rename this series Ryu versus the Camera. Yeah, Aurorus, if you're still there, this is probably why. Because you never really played this one because it didn't age super well. There are a lot of things that were not. That you could tell the game was rushed a bit out the door. Now it's not Sonic 06 levels of rushed out the door, but you can tell this game was rushed out the door. How to get out of the spin dash, because if I'm not running, I can actually overshoot the scripted jump. Alright. Take it nice and slow so I don't mess up anything. Okay. Thanks. But yeah, that's probably why you never play this one, because a lot of things in this game did not age well. The controls being one of them. The controls and the camera. And a lot of the cutscenes are extremely dated. Okay. Got there in a little over 5 minutes. How long do I have to beat the level?
Select your... So, what stage do you want to play?
4 minutes, 30 seconds is allowed wait. Alright. Gotta see where I can make some educated skips. Yeah, I never really pay attention, but is that area actually spinning? So that's kind of cruel. Lost too much time during that. No, it's not. Every one of these speed trials is possible. It's just some of it's pretty darn tight. Ah! Because you can't go in a straight line around the circle. Huh, interesting. It acts as if I wasn't underwater there for a moment. One thing that bothers me truly, too, about this level is that, one thing that does like to happen is is that the clock does not stop whenever you activate these switches. See, that doesn't make any sense to me. Or when a door's opening, it's like, courtesy says you should not have to do that. Alright. I've already complained about that before, but it still rings true. Because it shouldn't... Oh, darn it. Didn't mean to touch the mirror. Oh well. Camera. Thank you. I like how they changed the light speed dash in later games. Where you just press a button, you don't have to hold a charge. It shouldn't be that way to begin with, but yet here we are. And And that pushed me off the edge. Hooray! Huh. Who would have guessed the Mayans were this big of sadists? Well, I gotta redo the level because I ran out of lives.
So, what stage do you want to play?
Because, you know, your lives in trial mode, regardless of who you play as, do not carry over from adventure mode. So you only have the 4 lives. Okay. That's just jerkish. Put all of the obstacles in my way, why don't ya? It's like, no speed running for you, but that's the purpose of this level! I think in Adventure 2 they did fix the camera, though, so if I ever do that game, you won't hear me griping about the camera, but unfortunately, one of the problems that Adventure 2 has is it's not exactly fully polished either, and the Chao Garden is 10 times harder. Because we were able to get through the Chao Garden relatively easily, all things considered. In this game. Okay, I was at 2 minutes last time I got here, so that's a lot more time to play around with. If I accidentally touched the mirror, but whatever. Okay, I got stun lock there for a moment. Your cranium is made out of metal. That should not matter to you. Alright, now we're back here. Okay, at least I don't have to do this dang level again. Ugh. I know, famous last words, but the next level shouldn't be too big of a problem.
So, what stage do you want to play?
Honestly, Final Egg is far easier of a level than it should be. This is the only part that might slow us down whenever the speed run happens, but otherwise it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Because we gotta do platforming, which platforming in Sonic is hit or miss. Another thing, too, is how generous and extra lives this level is, too. Not only from collecting 100 rings, but there's, like, extra lives all over the level.
Final egg. Level 2 isolation wall open.
I think it was just like, we're sorry Lost World was terrible, here, have an easy level. Well, easy-ish level. Now, when we do the speed run, I'm actually going to show a little speed run Easter egg. It only shaves off like a couple seconds, but it's still hilarious that that works. You know, I just want to do this once. Just because I can. Makes you wonder if Eggman's just trolling Sonic at this point because of how easy this level actually is.
Select your character. So, what stage do you want to play?
The reason I didn't move there first is I thought I was actually dead. Because I was hit without a shield and no ring, so I was... You gotta think. Also, the claws hurt you somehow? Question mark. Now, when they're scraping around like that, I get that, but otherwise... No, I don't. Another thing I will always give every Sonic game is how great the music is. The game can be very mid or even awful, but most times the soundtrack is amazing. I'll mention Sonic 2006 again. Sure, that game was awful, but the soundtrack was awesome. Sonic Heroes, it depends on which version you play. Some are better than others. But, again, soundtrack is amazing.
Final A. Level 2 isolation wall open.
That much is always true with Sonic. Yeah. Honestly, too, even Shadow's standalone game wasn't that good either. But it had an amazing soundtrack as well. Sonic Forces. I don't feel strongly negative or positive about the game, but that was another banger. It's like if only they put half the effort that they did into the soundtrack, then the games would actually be pretty darn flawless, all things considered. You wish. Honestly, a Rhythm Sonic game would have been around during the Genesis era. They would have done it by now. Whoops. That's what happens when you have to rely on air. But yeah, I get what you mean, because it's like, heck, even Kingdom Hearts has its own rhythm game. That was something I would never thought I'd see coming. But here we are. I couldn't skills it that time. Alright. Final time trial mode.
Select your
Finish that in 4 minutes 30 seconds.
So, what stage
And that was
do you
me
want
mostly
to
playing
play?
it safe. So, what happens when we throw caution in the wind? Exactly 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Stellar. Heck, if you need an example of them being weird with Sonic as an IP, they even had a Puyo Puyo clone.
Final A. Level 2 isolation wall open.
Well, that wasted a lot of time. Out of my way. So, fun fact, if you do that, the clock freezes, and now you're coming down the elevator normally. It's a nice way to waste a few seconds. It's a trick that actual speedrunners do. If you have the extra life to spare, then go for it. Yeah, did that. Charge that up a little early. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Complaining about the camera is becoming cliche at this point. Hey, and with 24 seconds to spare. And there's the achievement for Metal Sonic.